eat here. They were doing, we had sewing machines all around the edges here, and so they were learning how to sew.
Yeah.
And of course they learned how to cook in the kitchen.
Okay.
Mostly outdoor. Daniel, Dorothy. Our mom Dorothy.
Hi, how are you?
I remember you.
Dr.
You remember
Anna.
me?
Yes.
Dr. Anna.
Daniel runs a boys' home in Nally for students, so
yeah.
he's checking out how we do it.
Yes. Yeah.
I think there was a time you came here.
Yeah, I came here before.
Okay.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So we cook our baby food in here, but we do most of our food cooking outside. And the girls do all the cooking
So
themselves.
then you make a little
We got an
circle.
oven, so they've been learning how to bake,
Yeah.
and they've been doing really good.
So it's like everything is learning and learning and learning.
Yes.
Yes.
And they do everything for themselves. Like we don't, the house moms do not clean, the house moms do not cook for them. They do everything for themselves. So they know how to support themselves when they leave.
Okay.
The house moms are there to teach them how
Yes.
to, be careful of this or, add this and to improve.
Yeah.
But they're not there to do it for them.
Yeah.
They're there to teach them how to live on their own.
Yes.
And how to support their babies. So.
Okay.
Jiko pots, where they do their dishes, so that's where they do most of their cooking,
Yeah.
is right here on that little thing, for even everybody here. And they
Okay.
cook for all the staff,
Yeah.
as well as themselves.
Okay. And how many live here?
Sometimes up to 13 plus babies, so that's 26 plus then staff, which is about 7, 8, 9, 10, depending on the day.
So, what you mean depending on the day? It's not like fixed.
For staff.
Yeah.
For staff, yes.
Oh.
For girls, 12 usually, and then 12 babies. Not all babies have food every day. Some are on formula, some are breastfeeding. So
Yeah.
the numbers fluctuate that way.
Yes.
Currently, right now, living here, we have 5 girls and 5 babies.
Okay. All right. And you
staff-
keep the number low because the project looks big,
So
but you keep the number low.
We
What
have-
is the
yeah.
secret there?
13 was the highest we could go to. It was our staff. It was too much with the staff. Because when we have 13 girls, we also have 13 babies, so that's
Yeah.
26 kids. And it was 13 was like, oh, that's a little too
Yeah.
much, so we like to stay at 12 is our ideal.
Yeah.
But it varies a little bit there. And right now, we've been transitioning. We have a transition house like I know you had for a
Yes.
while, Inspiration.
Yeah.
So we do have a transition house that has not been working the greatest, as I
Oh.
maybe you shared as well.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
They make very bad choices and
Yeah.
we can't keep them in the program when they're
Yeah.
making really bad choices.
Yeah.
So we're still working on trying to figure out the right way. We might be starting some businesses over here on the farm.
And
and that
I'm
might
really so
be-
curious about the business part.
Yeah, and
Yes.
we're not all the way there yet, but I will
Yes.
continue to share
Yeah.
on that.
Okay.
So this is where they cook. This is the oven. They might
Yeah.
be using it actually. Oh,
It's
yeah.
also handmade. It's just handmade.
Probably yeah. Yeah, some kind of. We bought it downtown.
Oh.
Sa bakery
not-
for
not-
baking or
Baking,
bread.
So cakes, bread, cookies.
Also
anything.
grilling, I think.
Oh, that could be.
And
We don't
grill,
use
yeah.
it that way, but yeah, they put charcoal in the bottom. Yeah, you could definitely grill in
I
there.
think our boy would love to see like
Yeah.
how this works.
They could even be making these.
Yeah, because we are looking for ideas.
you can also use it for roasting meat or
Yeah, you could. You could with it
Because they
open.
put the chicken here.
Yeah, the coal.
Yeah, they put the coals. Yep.
They'll scoop the coals out of there when they're done and put them back in the Chico pots.
Okay.
And they do a really great job. They've gotten feedback, not from us, but from out there
Yeah.
on their ability.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we bring in teachers to teach them catering, to teach
Okay.
them very reduced costs.
Okay.
It's done.
This is our social worker Lee and our minister, that's Minnie. Daniel runs a 101 mobile voice home in Nally. Oh, you know him, okay.
Yes.
So, Winnie does all the accounting, everything. Winnie does everything. Thank you, Winnie.
Yeah.
Then we got a player review babies, so that's not as applicable for you guys, but we actually have a one.
How's that doing?
hi. Hi, how are you?
So cute inside there.
Yeah, we just redid all, got that all done, bathrooms and things over there.
Sorry.
The first level is the dorm, so that's where they sleep. And the babies sleep.
So how many beds are in a dorm, for example? Like,
I think we have bunk beds, and I think right now for girl beds, I think we have 9. And for baby cots, we have, they're double decker too. I think we have 9 of those as well.
okay.
So this is a story that we just added on maybe a year ago.
Okay.
And it's, now this is where we do all the learning.
Nakujua kama nakujua. Si ndio? Yeah.
So they do you can see their homeschooling. We have 2 levels of homeschooling too. We have what we
Yes.
call preschoolers, which are
Yes.
the ones that are very low. And then we have more advanced.
Yeah.
So we have 2 teachers that come in. This is the advanced one. And then the,
So teachers are coming for this specific machine, or what
so
is the
Rukia-
homeschool? What
So we
kind
have,
of subjects are there?
so in the mornings, they do vocational subjects. So Rukia comes in to teach tailoring.
Yes.
And she has a whole curriculum that she runs.
Mm.
You can get a lot of those from NIDA, depending on which curriculum you're looking to run.
Yeah.
So she runs through that with them. In the afternoons, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the teachers come in. This is reading, writing, simple math.
Okay.
Because if they can't do English, simple math, they
Yeah.
can't run a business.
It's true.
So we only focus on those subjects.
So,
reading, writing, and
What is the main goal? You are trying to train them to be able to
support themselves.
support themselves.
Yes.
And how long is this process?
Ideally 3 years. We would have them for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. And then,
And in 3 years, do you give them a business?
yes
after
and
3
no.
years?
We help them towards that. They have to have some drive towards it as well, but we do help them towards that.
Okay.
But we don't give them it. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yes.
So if they wanted to start their own business, they would have to save up. Whatever they save up, we would match.
So in this workshop,
Yeah,
do the girls earn some money?
no, not right now.
So how do they save up?
Once we get them placement on local factories
Oh,
right
okay.
now. So that we're working on revamping, so I'm not
Okay.
sure if we'll continue to do that.
Okay.
But that is what we've been doing now. They go out and they work, we get them employment at factories.
What about girls who don't like to do sewing? Does it mean they cannot come into the program?
No, no. We have catering that we also do. There's other skills that they learn. I mean, they make their own soaps, like everything that they do in the house, right? They're doing all of that. So those are all skills that they're learning. So no, they don't have to like tailoring to do it. There's catering available. And what I learned last year is that number 1, our first year is only literacy. Like I don't care if they get any tailoring skills or any catering skills, if they don't have literacy, they're stuck.
Yeah.
They're stuck. If they can't do simple 50 plus 50,
Yeah.
I mean really simple math,
Yeah.
know how to count money, know if they got the
Yes.
right change back,
Yeah.
know how to give the right change, like
Yeah.
those kind of things. If they don't know
Yeah.
that, none of this matters.
Yeah.
And so we're really pulling back in that first year. They'll have little samplings of, oh, here's one quick tailoring class, here's one quick catering class. Let's go see a bakery and see what that
Yeah.
looks like out in the, in the villages and wherever. So it's more that, and then literacy, which we did not do well
Yeah.
up until now. Like it's something that I'm learning now that it was like, if we would have focused more on that then, they would be a lot more successful
Yeah.
in this and winning.
Yeah.
So we're slowing down and really focusing on that literacy for year 1. Year 2 would be vocational skills. So then
Okay.
it's those things. And you may send them out for it, but for us.
Are girls all under 18?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A couple now have turned 18 with us,
Okay.
and so they are still here.
Okay.
But they all come in at under 18. Ideally 15, 16. So in 3 years they're 18. And
So
then
when you are recruiting, do you tell them everything about the program, or how does that work?
So right now we don't recruit.
Okay.
Right now, they're coming from the children's department and they're placed with us.
Yes.
Because of all the changes in the children's department
Yes.
and the CCI registrations
Yes,
and this
yes.
idea of we don't want them, I'm not sure if we're now going to start doing like a,
CCI.
well, we cannot, they will not register us
Yeah,
as CCI.
because
And I'm sure
yes.
you're probably having that
Yes,
too.
we know about that.
And even if you have it, like in 10 years, they don't want it anymore, right?
Yeah, so that's another point. So
Yeah.
how then do you handle this fact that you are not allowed to register CCI,
Yeah.
but still you continue to bring ahead?
Yes.
Like how do you handle it?
So what we're doing right now, we don't have the legal background yet, but we've been working with our local children's department person,
Yes.
and we're going to register as a child welfare organization.
Okay.
And the idea is that they board with us, just like when you probably or others, when they go to high school, they board, right?
Yeah.
So why can't they board here for vocational training?
Yes.
And so that's the way we're going at that.
So it's not like they are really going to be committed here.
Right.
Yes.
Now, some of them will have court cases, and so that way we could get a criminal
Okay.
order. Most
Yes.
of them would have court cases. But
Yeah.
even if they don't, that idea of this is about dorming, it's
Yes.
not about concealing
Okay.
them from the community, which we weren't doing anyway. We go to church at the local church, you know, we
Yeah.
go to the local medical. So really being clear about what you do outside of, like, it's not just them staying here,
Yeah.
right? Like they're connecting here, they're connecting there. Where are they connecting in the community? They want to see that they're not being sheltered and, like, I don't know, housed and not
Yeah.
allowed to be out in the community at all. And so how can you show that, and how can you do that more and more? How can you bring community in? We bring guest speakers in to talk to the girls. Maybe they've been teen moms, maybe they're tailors or whatever their thing might be, like bringing people in also
Yeah.
to share about different things. Of course, women's groups sometimes come and bring food and, you know, those kind of things.
So, I am really so much inspired, specifically by this,
Yeah,
because as I continue to try to look for possibilities,
yeah,
I discovered that this is a very possible way
Yeah.
to actually get money to keep the girls here.
yeah,
But no matter, it has been a challenge because from the beginning
Yeah.
we wanted to do this,
yeah,
but the boys could not get the interest.
yeah,
Now it was a bit different because some boys have already gone out there and they have not succeeded.
yes,
And now when you tell them, oh, you could come back and do this, they
Yeah.
are very much motivated.
yes.
But so we are really struggling with
That
getting the
ignition.
interest. Yes,
Yeah.
and getting the interest, getting them to see that actually we can do this and we can
Be
earn
successful.
out of it.
Yeah.
So what tip do you give me to really?
The deal is you get to set the agenda. They
Yes.
don't get to set the agenda.
Yes.
The idea is you are on your own, your parents have rejected, whatever the circumstances that
Yes.
left them on the street,
Mm.
they need money.
Yes.
They don't need an 8th grade certificate.
Yes.
They need money to
Mhm.
live and survive.
Yes.
After they have that, if they want to go back to 8th grade and
Yes.
get themselves through 8th grade and high
Yes.
school, go for it. But
Yes.
right now, you need money.
Yes.
So let's figure that out. Let's get you the love of God, you know, all
Yes.
of those literacy, the love of God,
Yeah.
all of these things, and then let's get you going. And the idea is they don't get the option. It's
Yes.
not an option. And the children's department is pressing your hand.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they can't stay.
I cannot do much more. I've been so hard for enough. Now I have to comply also.
Right, and,
Yes.
you know, financially, it's not a sustainable.
And now it's getting worse.
Right,
So
Right.
we really have to do something for
Right.
things to go.
and so those kind of, and then you getting excited and behind it and having your plan,
Yes.
you know, is a big part of it. And the idea is, this is it,
So,
guys.
but I think it's really the time because even when I stand here,
Yeah,
so many things are falling in place.
Yeah.
Really, things are getting complete how
Yeah.
it can be. And although it's a bit a challenge because, like I talked with Teresa, you know Teresa? I
yes,
talked with her.
yeah.
And then for her, she's like, education, university,
Yeah.
university.
Where's that money coming from, Teresa? Are you paying for that?
Uh-huh.
I didn't pay for my kids to go to university. I'm still paying my school bills.
Yes.
I'm not paying for these guys to go. They can do it.
Uh-huh.
And it's not that you're saying they can't. They just need to earn it for themselves.
Yes.
Go for it. They can go back to
Hebu
school.
msikize hiyo vizuri. I've been trying to tell these boys that really now where we are going to change the approach.
Right.
Okay, so, and maybe other things about how the business can work, maybe we can talk, not inside here, but
Yeah.
I'm still interested
Absolutely.
to know how you also, like what they produce, how you bring it to the person who can want to buy, what processes might
Yeah.
I need to consider.
Yeah, we're still working on that, but
Yes.
yeah, we can talk about that at
Yeah.
the table too a little bit. We're still,
Okay.
it's trial and error.
Yeah.
It's getting out there, spreading the word, it's
Yeah.
getting them out there and
Yeah.
spreading the word. Like we had a meeting just the other day up here. So if we start businesses, where are we gonna pull?
Yes.
Like we can't be the ones pulling out the market.
Yeah.
That's part of their job.
Yes.
Right? Like where are you, and
Yeah.
what's gonna happen when someone yells back at you and, you know,
Yes.
like how are you gonna handle the emotions
Yeah.
in that?
Yeah.
And all that goes with that. And the idea of being scared to do that, like,
Yeah.
oh, what if they say no and not even make an yes? Or if I do
Yeah.
make the yes, what if they respond poorly and angrily
Yes.
to me? How am I
Yes.
going to handle that? And so role playing those things, teaching them that it's not about them. If someone reacts angrily to you, it's not about you. It's
Yeah.
about them and their day. Don't take it personal. Go on to the next person.
And how do you recruit the teachers? And do you have to pay them a lot of money? What kind of agreements do you make with the teachers?
It's word of mouth, and we're all buying into the vision and the mission. So we find
So
people-
somebody who is willing to contribute.
Yeah, wanting to be a part of the vision and the mission of what's going on.
It's not like salary based.
Well, there is a salary, but it's not as much as you would make somewhere else,
Okay.
I would assume.
Okay.
So that idea of it's partly vision and mission, and there is some cash that goes.
Okay.
And of course, fabric, and then you can sell these things, and
Yes.
you know, it's finding those markets and taking the time and getting the boys to think of the markets.
Well, we have at least one machine like that one now.
Mhm.
Before we had these kind of two machines.
Yeah.
But we have one now like that.
Oh, okay.
And so we also ready to get started again.
That's awesome.
But I will tell you more
Yeah.
like what we are trying to do. maybe.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Santeni, look here. Asante. Sawa.
Okay.
And then on the roof, they do all their own laundry.
Okay.
The house moms do not do laundry for them, they do their own.
Yeah.
So that can help keep your house expense down,
Yeah.
in that you don't have to have as much house staff. I don't know how much house staff you have, but if the boys are doing the work,
Yeah.
you know, that is, they get a free place to stay, you could maybe pull the budget salary down possibly.
Yeah. At the moment, it is expect it to work, but most of the work in our mall at the moment in that of the house.
Oh, okay, okay.
Much of the work, actually we have only 2 people who are doing the salary, 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
The rest of the work so far is done by the boys.
I think that's a really great
And a
thing.
good thing because they are mature
Yeah,
and some of them are in college, things like married.
yeah.
So really that's the only way we have been able to come to this point.
Right,
But this is really a turning point
yeah.
because I am now starting to see that these boys that we have is like an experiment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So now,
Us too.
yes, so now everybody we have worked with, we need to now try to transform that into like, yeah,
What's next?
it's like a workshop. It's like a workshop now.
Yeah.
There in Angola,
Right.
where everybody is going to take some kind of role.
Yeah,
And maybe when the entrepreneurial role part will work good,
yeah.
then we can pay people.
How many boys do you have
Yeah.
at one wall?
Muko wangapi sahi kwa nyumba?
18.
18.
That's full house.
Yes, the house is still full. And because the ones who have gone, some have settled, but some have not really settled.
Yeah.
You still see them coming, needing some kind of support.
Yeah, yeah, we've got the same thing making,
Yeah.
it's hard. Transition is hard and it doesn't always go well.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit goes with them,
Yes.
and that's why, you know, teaching the Word of God and all of
Yeah.
that is so, so important.
Yeah.
Our year 1 is really literacy, emotional, like psychological interviews, but therapy. You know, that
Yes.
idea of like what got you to the street. You know, it might be part of your parents, it
Yeah.
might be some of your own stuff, you know, it might be drug and alcohol, like, I don't know, all those, you know, it's all different. So dealing with whatever those things are and getting someone in there, maybe a social worker or a psychologist, to really talk through with them. We also do a lot of spiritual. We have the devotions twice a day, breakfast and dinner, and then also a spiritual teacher that comes and teaches discipleship twice a week with the girls. So that's a huge focus as well the first year. And I've learned the hard way, literacy. We've got to stop and really focus a lot on literacy before we hop into the vocational skills.
Yeah.
And my advice on the road is don't try and start 4 different vocational programs.
Oh
at
yes.
once.
Oh yes.
One a year, get it organized, get it set,
Oh, yes.
let it go, get that going, then it's like the next year if you're ready,
Yeah.
then get the next program in, get
Oh,
it set,
yeah.
get it organized, get it going.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're trying to do all, you can't afford it.
Yes.
You can't get all the supplies you need. It's gonna be messy, it's gonna be half, they're gonna get half of what they need, but not all of it.
It's
So
true.
it's one program at a time,
Yeah.
and it just is what it is. As you grow, it'll get more, but one at a time, that's how we've been doing it.
Oh,
One at a time.
Okay, that's really the point because now we thought, oh,
It's tempting to want to, he doesn't want to do that.
yeah,
But for now, this is what we have. So
Yeah.
it's this, or you can go find somewhere else to try
Yeah.
something else, but this is what we have for you. So either try it or
yeah,
making those tough decisions, which you don't
Yeah.
like to make, but at the same time, like for the good of all of the boys, for the good of the program as a
Yeah, in the
whole,
future, yeah.
we've got to go slowly and get it fully implemented, get all the policies written down.
Yes.
You know, how do you admit people, who gets to get into those programs, you know,
Yeah.
all of those things, and then I think you probably have the literacy part done
yes,
because of the schooling that the
Yeah.
boys have been going through. So most of them, if not all, probably have high enough
even speak
literacy.
English now.
Yeah, the math skills to be able to do, you know, money and, you know, all
We
those.
only have just one boy who is really a big challenge. We don't know how to really handle because he can't speak properly.
Okay.
He's not comfortable speaking.
Okay,
So that's a special case, but the rest,
yeah, good. And then the math skills, just simple math.
Yeah.
The literacy, so that part you probably already have done, but you
Yeah.
might want to create something so you have a program
Yes.
that is 1 year
Yeah.
that teaches them those things so that they hop into the vocational after that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's what we were finding.
Okay.
And transition's hard and it's not
Yeah.
perfect. Many of our girls are making poor choices. They're also making some good choices, but
Yeah.
sometimes the bad ones way overshadow
Yeah.
the not good ones, but or the good ones, but and that's something, you know, we gotta take them to God. We just keep them in prayer and we keep praying and praying. Of course, you know, our girls leave with babies, so that just adds a whole other level of that for us. But
So the babies who live here, are they, because, so, is it the mothers who are under the program or the babies?
the moms, they come pregnant.
So the babies, what's the relationship between the babies and the government and you? How do you handle that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure.
Because like things like a baby care, like baby center.
Yeah. I don't know how the children's department looks at it, like detail, but in our eyes, it's their moms are here. They're not our babies, they're their mom's babies.
Okay.
We watch them while they're in school.
Yeah.
We watch them really just while they're in school. Other
Yeah.
than that, it's their baby, they need to handle
Oh.
it. And even when they get wet, they'll be called down from class to
And
handle it.
what about the needs for the babies? Is it coming from the program of the moms?
So it's the moms that we focus on. Now we have a child care worker that works with the babies. Of course, we have things for the babies and our moms. You know, before we had the child care worker, the house moms, you know, would watch the babies. So, but it's really our focus is the girl. Oh, the girl needs to be able to support herself and her baby. That's the goal in 3 years. That's the goal. That might be employment. That might be a business. It might be many things, but do not give businesses. They have to earn businesses. They need to match whatever money you put in. They need to be putting that same amount in, or they're not going to respect the equipment. They're going to go sell it, and and then they'll come back to you and say, "Oh, but I need."
Yeah.
They've got to have some money in the game, and if they won't, then they need to go find their way until they do, and then they can come back, and then you can assess, you know, a good business plan. We also have someone that comes in on year 3 that helps teach business skills,
Yes.
keeping their books, how to budget, you know, writing business plans, you know, those kind of things. And he's actually based in town, so it might be an option for you guys too.
Yeah.
It's called Hand in Hand.
Hand in
So
Hand.
yeah, we can connect you and see if that's something that works for them. And
I think that's really something we need.
yeah. And I know there's other programs too, but this would be the start of something. So that's for us year 3. We start money year 1. We actually have a money system that we're working on. So we actually have to pay rent while they're here. They have to pay for electricity out of bank money.
So, how does it work?
We're still working on all the details, but we're working right now on just teaching them how to budget. Like, here's your paycheck. You just got it. We just give it to them. And then how much do you have to put aside for school fees for your baby? How much do you have to put aside for rent? How much do you have to, so we made a fake budget that would be comparable to what would be out here.
Yeah.
And it's just that. We're working on ways that, they do their laundry or they clean up their space well, so they get so much money. They do their vocational skills training, they get so much money. They do their emotional counseling, they get so much money. And then if they don't have enough, because they didn't do their things well enough, then what are you gonna do? So we're working on that part. That's a little more complicated. But right now we're just really teaching, okay, I have, because a lot of our girls, once they get money, it's like, they're spending it really poorly or they're saving it and not paying us. in the
Yeah.
transition house, they're supposed to pay us for rent. I don't have any money, and some of them are just saving it, but still won't pay. So I have to kick them out.
Yeah.
And so just teaching them those things ahead of time. That and sexual boundaries for our girls are the biggest ones that are the biggest issues
Yeah.
on transition for us.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Okay. I think that's very clear.
so 3 years, literacy, vocational skills, business skills. Then,
You will take them.
yeah, then into employment, into, we're working on starting our own businesses that they can work at and then work their way up to launching. And the reason we're doing that is spiritual development. We find once they go to transition house and they have to work 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then deal with a baby, deal with laundry and all these things, they're not going to church, they're not doing Bible study for sure because there's no time. I mean,
Yeah.
when? There's
Yeah.
literally no time. And so if we have them in our businesses, we can do Bible study first thing in the morning with them. We can send them home when we want to, at 5 o'clock versus 7, like we'll have a little more authority over that. So then they'll be able to spend more time with their babies and all of those things too. So that's why we're going to try that out because we've had a few successes right this way, but not way more failures when you look as the big picture decisions.
Okay.
Way more.
So, may I come back to the business?
Yeah.
So, when you have the products, what do you do
Yeah.
from the time you have the product up to the time you can get money from the product? Here or abroad, do you have like a shipping service, use a shipping service, or
We've
how do
been
you get the
selling
products?
local. So I take some home, but not many. I take a little bit home and I sell on Etsy, but very minimal. Most of it we're working on selling here. It's not, we don't have a magic answer because it's not going that great for us either. But it's really about just being out there and being persistent. So the sales guys.
Yes.
You know the guys that can get out there and sell this stuff.
Yeah.
And so those guys should be pulled out of the welding program or whatever, and they are out there selling this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, get them out there marketing, get them out there selling, making a video, making
Yes.
things for social media, the
Yeah.
graphic things, literally knocking on doors, knocking on shops, knocking at hotels. Can we place these, depending on what your things are,
Yes.
can we place these things here?
Yeah.
And then following up on that and keeping all that organized. So you maybe have an administrative kind of guy
Yes.
that's there, that's really good with that, and he's keeping track and then going to collect the money from the hotels or whatever the circumstances might be. So you're gonna have to see those, test those things out and find those guys that have that thing and get them out as the face.
Yeah.
And then the other guys are back there and then the administrator to make sure you're following up because that's the second part that's hard. Because when you put things out, like we have some things at the airport, we had some things at some stores, but they easily get forgotten about because we're
Yeah.
making more.
Yeah.
And so that idea of someone's got to be in charge of that follow-up. Grabbing the money from the places, grabbing the items if they haven't sold, seeing what's selling, getting feedback. Like, change this a little bit and then maybe it'll sell better. We've gotten this feedback. So we need that admin person that's
Yeah.
going to be good and diligent on the follow-up, and we need that, what's the word? Social, just out there, that salesperson,
Yeah.
that wanted, like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that. How can I? And then, the admin person comes in and does the details. That makes sense. And creating social media. We do some of that on social media. That's how we find people too. We put ads out, not just me, but like, hey, I'm looking for a tailoring instructor.
Yeah.
And God just the right people at the right time, and there they are. So don't think too far into it. Like, don't try and get too much ahead of yourself. Let God be in the details.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. Like, I want a system that's going to work every time and all the time, but we want systems, yes.
Yeah.
But we can't depend on the system, we depend on God.
Yeah.
And so that idea of God, what do you want us to start with? Like, what is our first thing?
Yeah.
And then we need that person.
Oh, yes.
So what is that
Yes.
person? And maybe now you start generally, like, hey, I'm looking for vocational trainers for boys.
Yeah.
Do you have skills and you're willing to share them?
Yeah.
And see who comes.
Yeah.
And that's affordable, if it's a welder,
Yeah.
that might be a little more expensive than versus a woodworker or something.
Yeah.
So, making sure it's affordable that way, but with those kind of things and letting God really direct on what those first, second, third things will be, and then getting the systems down so that if that person leaves, you still have all of that and you're ready for someone else to fill in. It could even be a boy that's been through the program, but maybe
Yeah.
isn't excelling greatly, in some way, but he could be an instructor. Maybe he
So,
teaches.
so the advantage we have is that we have boys who are carpenters and welders, and they're really able to make good things.
Yeah.
So I think we are going a little bit ahead because the moment we give them money, they are able actually to make product.
Yeah.
They're making beds already, they're making chairs, and but where we have been struggling.
It's the sale.
Okay, it's a sell, but with the idea of clothes,
Okay.
then there we really need somebody from outside.
Okay. For Taylor.
Yeah, but learning from how you're doing it, then it's actually giving me ideas of how it can work.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, just get out there asking. On social media, but also everywhere else, like at church or whatever. Like, hey, do you know anyone? I'm looking.
Yeah.
God will bring that person. Just keep asking. Keep asking.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
So I think that's that for
Okay.
now. Is the person you're waiting for, have they come?
My guess is he's probably over there. That's where Jocelyn is. So
Okay.
yeah, my guess is he's over there.
So then you are busy on Tuesday, so I don't know if you have any other time, maybe not.
Let's chat by Facebook. Let's see what we
Yes.
can do.
Okay.
Maybe we'll chat and see.
Yeah, because it's Tuesday, you have a few days.
Yeah, it is.
But this is a very good input.
Good.
It's in a good spot too.
Yes?
It's a good location.
Yes.
It's very cool.
There's only one other plot
You
next to
guys,
us and it's
yes.
I mean, you're closer to the markets.
Yes.
So for us, like, no one's coming out here to buy an apron.
Yes.
No one's coming out here to do that. But they come to Bonham to buy
Yes.
something. Because
So-
it's close. But
And
out
what are
here,
the products you have? Aprons,
Yeah,
rubber
right.
clothes.
yeah, right now it's aprons, we do hats, we do little pouches, we do some beadwork, keychains.
Oh.
But get it like a signature thing that
Yes.
you're doing if you're doing beadwork. Don't do all beadwork, but
I
get
know pouches.
signature.
What we really want to do is African clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Like hoodies with African prints and yeah.
And then on our outfits, we take orders.
Yes.
So we have an order form. So we don't necessarily create. We have a couple for just just to show. Like
Yes.
here's the quality we're wearing. Well, what do you want? Tell us what you want,
Oh,
and then
yes.
we'll get the fabric.
Oh.
We have an order form that they fill,
Okay.
and then we work them that way. So you want a few things so they can
Yes.
see the quality, but then it's just taking whatever it is they want. And that's what we do. You can do off the rack stuff. If that's the way you want to go. That's
Yeah.
we're going the other way. But out here, again, people aren't coming out here to grab a dress.
Yeah, but
right?
we are closer
Yeah,
there,
you're
so
closer,
we
so
can really
you
maximize
could,
it.
you could do, see what God's showing you on that. So.
Okay.
All right,
I
awesome.
think that's it for now.
Okay.
And let's see how it moves if we meet again or then the next time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And feel free to stay in touch. We'll share as we get
Yes.
those policies.
Yes.
The legal stuff too.
Yes.
We'll share that once
Yeah.
we get it to a point where we get accepted.
Yes.
We'll share it with you so you can
Yes.
follow however you want to follow
Yeah.
that and take it and then see how that works for
Okay.
you guys too.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks. I
Thank
wish you
you,
all the best.
Daniel. You
if I don't
too.
see you, then just have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
So take the message home that
Yeah.
some people are doing this
Yeah.
and it seems working better than us.
It's more sustainable at the very least.
Yeah.
Schooling and putting them through schooling it never ends. And then
no.
what? And they still don't have a job
I've
necessarily.
worked so hard to keep them in school.
I know.
And what is disappointing me now, like there's a boy, he did everything to keep him in a boarding school.
Yeah.
I see the final result is not good even.
Yeah, right.
So,
Right. I mean, because the childhood that they come from.
yes.
They weren't getting food. They weren't
Yeah.
getting what they needed, and so the school is not the easiest. And in the end, it's not like they have family to rely on. They need to be able to support themselves.
So
They can take- we right now work under only committal orders. We may be changing that because of the way the child welfare and the children's department is. We may be doing like, how would I call it? Like show up, an interview, and we
Yeah.
take 12 girls
Yeah.
from that interview process. Right now it's
Yeah.
committal orders from the children's department, but we haven't had a committal in a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
July was our last one, and she was overage, so she went home in a month. So we think we're gonna have to change, and we may need to do that idea of like, okay, this day we're doing this. The cool part about that though is that you have control over the schedule of it,
Yes.
right? This is the day we're doing interviews, this is the day we're starting the program, this is the day we're ending the program,
Yeah.
as opposed to, oh, here's the boy, here's the boy, here's the girl, like all over the place. So if you're started in January and a boy comes or a girl comes in July, what are you going to do with that in the middle of vocational training?
Yeah.
So if you have control over it, that's actually going to be a better program because then it's like we're starting now and we work our way through versus all over the place, whenever, however, like you have more sustainability. It's easier on your teachers.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's
Okay.
better. that way, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I've learned too much. I thank you.
We'll stay in touch.
All right. all
Okay.
right. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Bye bye. Sorry. Oh, what's her name again? I forget it. What's her name?
Justin.
Jocelyn. Jocelyn. Yes. Tuna de bana. We are done for now. And if there's some other thing we need to add, come back.
Okay.
Yes.
You have my number.
Yes.
I'm a phone caller.
It's good.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You
Thank you
too.
for visiting.
Thank you.
Big picture.
Thanks, Chris.
It's nice to
I wish
meet
you all
you.
the best.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Carrie
you.
has lots of information for you.
Yeah, that's a lot of information.